Hello, good evening, everyone. This is Master Jason Feng Shui channel. So today's sharing will be on Simone Biles. And because this is a live broadcast, I will first share out my link to my followers first before I begin today's session. As all of us, those who have been following the Olympics, right, in Paris this year, one of the most successful um, athletes, right, who has won so many gold medals is this very famous Simone Biles. Okay, so today I will share with you why is it that she is so successful, and from a Bazi perspective, how can we find out something about her background? Also from her 紫微斗数, we can check why is it that she's such a successful gymnast. Okay, so without further ado, I believe most of you have already know who is this person, right? So I will not go very deep into the introduction. You guys know who is this very what I perceive her as a superwoman, but I will first share with you the 八字 and 紫微斗数 charts. Today I started the session a little bit early because tomorrow I do have a feng shui on site audit, and it is in the morning, so I have to wake up quite early. All right. So pardon me if today's session is about half an hour earlier than usual. And throughout the session, I will speak in both English and Mandarin. Okay. So first of all, let's analyze. Simone Biles, Bazi charts together. She's born of the year of the Ding Chou, all right, which is, of course, we all know is the year of the ox in layman term, and her month of birth is of the Kui Mao, and the day of birth, right, which forms the day pillar of Yi Mao, right, Yi Mao, which as all of us know who are familiar with bunch reading, the day master will always be the focus point, all right? And then this will be the point of reference for us to conduct a budget analysis. And her time of birth, right, as according to the internet, I'm not sure if this is 100% correct, but it seems to be in the around 12:23, right, in the morning, all right? If it is correct, I will just take her birth chart as the 丙子 hour. As all of us who have studied Bazi before, will know that Bazi is actually a form of metaphorical representation of your qi or your energy field or your aura, okay, so to speak. And by analyzing the different interactions between the various heavenly stems and earthly branches, their interactions and their chemical reaction, we will come to a conclusion as whether this is a good birth chart or whether this is not so positive chart. In terms of Simon Biles' Bazi chart, I will say it is a positive chart in the sense that the construct of this chart is very auspicious. If we know Yi wood is actually a metaphor for anything that is very much like grass or small flower, and in terms of someone who has this kind of Yi wood, right? What we call Yi wood, what we really needed the most is both sunlight and rainwater, and we can observe, right, both sunlight and rainwater is found within her time of birth, right? Being fire is actually the sun, and this 子 water is actually representing rainwater. So for grass, right, or for a small flower that is, in an environment, growing in an environment that is surrounded by sunlight and rainwater, definitely it will give rise to positive development, and that is the birth chart of Simone Biles. Having Yi wood sitting on both Mao earthly branches, one at the day, one at the month, right? Additionally, Zi and Chou, they will form a water combination formation. Therefore, I would say, right, her chart is still towards one that is having too much water. When a chart is having too much water, we will need the fire element to give it a balance or to regulate the temperature. It's very much like when a grass, right, or flower that is grown in a very cold temperature or a climate, it will not be able to grow properly. So fire will be her auspicious element. Subsequently, Earth will also be her auspicious element. Thank you very much, Yvonne, for watching. And especially dry Earth will be her auspicious element. And if we look at her birth chart, right, I will consider her to be of a strong day master, right? In terms of Bazi reading, the traditional method of decoding a Bazi chart is to determine whether your day master is one that is strong, one that is weak, or one that follows a special formation of the Zhuangwang or the Chongge. Zhuangwang in English, right, actually means you have to follow the strongest energy within your chart for your day master to survive. Whereas for Chongge, it means you have to give up your energy or the energy that your day master is consisting of, right, in order to what I call give up yourself to follow the strongest energy within the chart, right? To explain again, 庄万格 means the surrounding elements within your birth chart is so strong that you only can become that energy. Alright, in terms of Mandarin explanation，就是呢，庄万格呢是一个非常特别的格局，就是呢，你的身边的那个能量呢，旺到了你只能就是说，如果跟你的日元也是同一个能量的话呢，然后有一个相生的关系呢，就是你只能够跟着你自己入主那个非常壮旺的一个状况，就好像 Donald Trump 啊，Donald Trump 是一个壮旺格的，all right. So to switch back to English, right? For a special formation chart of Zhuangguan, you have to be very strong in terms of your day master and in terms of the surrounding elements within your birth chart. Whereas for Chongge, you have to give up your own energy to follow the energy that is strongest within your surrounding pillars. All right. Hopefully, it is easy to understand for beginners, but I know, right? Sometimes it takes a kind of abstract understanding or comprehension in order for us to decode about the charts properly. But in terms of Simone Biles chart, hers is clearly one that is of a strong day master of Yi Wood. Okay, so simple as that, because we have two supporting Ma Wood and the earth branches, and hers is of a Yi Wood day master. And there's also a Kui water that's right next to the Yi Wood. And at the earth branch, we have Zhi water, right, at the hour pillar, and also Chou is also wet earth. Of course, these two Mao will be a supporting element for her day master. Likewise, task, she is having a strong day master. And for a strong day master, what you really need most, right, is definitely the wealth factor and the output factor, right? In Chinese, we call 如果你是身旺的时候呢，乙木嘛，通常都非常需要火这个元素的，因为其实嘛，草嘛，这是小花小草呢，它们都需要阳光的那个温暖，还有阳光的那个太阳能啊，来帮它做这个我们叫做光学反应，对不对？的 photosynthesis。The process of photosynthesis, right, in English, right? So Yi would definitely need the sunlight. And if we look at her chart, right, if you do remember, she actually grew up in a family whereby her parents, especially during her younger days, were not able to take care of her, right? She actually has to enter a foster home, right? So in terms of her chart, there is definitely a kind of negative relationship with the parents. First of all, yin, right, which is what we call resource factor for her chart, right, is definitely the water element, and it is serving as an inauspicious element. And if we look at a Bazi chart, right, for example, I will draw it out for you for a yin that is strong. I mean, for a day master that is strong, right, a Yi day master that is strong, right, mother, right, will be of equals to the resource. So resource will be her inauspicious element, right? 我们叫做凶神 right, or inauspicious element, right? So we can see the relationship with her mother was not one that is beneficial to her, because if we look at her background, right, perhaps I will try to share with you the Wikipedia, some of the background regarding her life. So let me close this tablet and on the screen for the web browser and we can look through some of her history together. If you look at her history, right, we know that of course, right, she's one of the most successful artistic gymnast in the history of mankind. But if you look at her childhood, as in terms of her background, right, early life and education, right, Biles was born, right, blah 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 blah, in Columbus, the third of four siblings. Her birth mother, right, Shannon Biles, was unable to care for Simone or her other children, right? All four went in and out of foster care. So we can see, right, it is actually coherent with her Bazi chart in the sense that the resource factor is not her auspicious factor. That's why she was not able to receive proper care from her biological mother. All right，就是呢，我们声望的呢，通常呢，那个印这个元素嘛，都是一个凶神来的啊，因为我们声望再也不需要有那个印，就是那个 resource factor 呢去让它更加长旺，所以嘛，妈妈在她的生命中嘛，小时候，right，妈妈在生命中是没有什么帮助的。In terms of her biological mother, right, biological mother, we can see that there was not too much of beneficial relationship towards Biles, right? Okay, so I have all right, so I have touched on this very important point regarding her childhood, and also if you look at her chart, right, um what we call the indirect well will be her father. But in terms of this indirect well, all right, Ji, right, Chao, right, which can be represented by this Chou here, the year pillar, right? It is likewise not so much of an auspicious element for her because it is pairing with this Zi here. Zi, Chou, Hai Zi Chou will form a water combination formation, right? Therefore, I will not say this father figure in her life was also too helpful, all right? Her biological father, right, in her chart, all right? Let me try to write it down. Chou, which represents her father, right? Because Chou is of yin earth, right? Is a yin earth, right? She's a yin wood, right? So this will be her indirect well, which will represent her father. Thus, it is not auspicious also because Hai Zi Chou will form a combination relationship, okay? And it is overall, this is a very cold kind of element. So is a metal storage, if you know, right? So if this metal storage is being opened, likewise, it will bring about kind of like, how do I put it? It will generate more water, right? Thus, subsequently causing the wood to be overwhelmed by water element. Thus, it is also not so auspicious. So this is how we can interpret her childhood. But if we look at her current development, I will say it is very positive, all right? If you look at her decade trend, right, actually all the way from the last 5 years, all right, perhaps we can look at especially from 2019 onwards, or even I will say about 2019 onwards. Perhaps you can check on the Wikimedia to see when she actually started to become very successful in her sports career. All right. So let me open the web browser and try to look at some of the history. Perhaps we can try to go to 2019 to see early gymnastic career, right? Biles first tried gymnastic at the age of 6, which was really very early in life. And she became successful. As according to her Bazi charts, it should be around 2018. All right. Perhaps we can just fast forward to see what happened during 2018. 2005, 2016. I believe, right, she became better and better in her like for example Olympics. 2016 she actually entered Olympics, right? 2016 was actually a year of the Bing Sun, right? Bing fire, as mentioned, is her auspicious element, right? Perhaps we can go back to the tablet and observe, right, what happened in the year 2016. If you look at her year 2016, right, it was actually of a Bing, right, Bing fire year. right? Bing Fire, Heavenly Stamp, followed by a Ding Fire, Heavenly Stamps in 2017 and 2018 of Mu Xu. So I believe, right, she became, right, very successful, right? Actually started competing in Olympics, right, from 2016 onwards. And some of her backgrounds, you guys can check on the internet. And really, after that, right, we can see some of the pictures or photos of her competing in the 2016 Olympics. So really, fire element is auspicious for her. Whenever she see fire element, it will bring about great success. And the rest, of course, you guys can gradually, slowly read through and to find out more about her background, all right? And 2018, she returned to 2018 returned to competition, and then she won the gold medal on floor and balance beam, okay, and highest single vault score. Her all-round score of 58.7 became the highest score recorded under the 2017 to 2020 cut of points, despite of a fall on the uneven bars, blah 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 blah. Okay, so you guys can go through all this information over the Wikipedia. But if we to look at it from a Bazi perspective, indeed, right, from 2018 onwards, she has already entered into the Shi Fire trend, which will be able to bring about very positive developments for her. And all the way until now, right now we are at the year 2024, she is entering into this Bingwu, and she will continue to be very successful, I would say, because Bingwu is of heavenly stems and earth branch, both of the fire element, which is her output, right? Output means in Chinese called 实诚相关, means the talents that she can express or generate or create. And of course, her talents is definitely in terms of gymnastic performance, right? So if we also observe her 紫微斗数 birth chart, right? Biles is actually right born right considering the time of birth is at the morning 子 hour, right? Her body domain, right, 病耳宫 is actually facing this 天机化科, means right she will have the potential to become extremely famous due to her mortal skill, in the sense we have different kinds of intelligence, like linguistic intelligence, musical intelligence. Her is the kinetics, in terms of kinetics, like right in terms of her bodily movement. We can also see Tian Cai, which is a star that represents talents, and Wu Qi, which is a star that represents knowledge or skills or talents that requires emotional or impressional kind of input, right? For example, in terms of gymnastic, you basically have to memorize certain form of movement that is not logical, right? That is right more towards impressionable kind of input, right? And it also requires you to have the kind of artistic movements, because Wen Qi is always related to artistic endeavor or talents, and Tianji is definitely related to bodily movement, right? Tianji is related to changes, in terms of traditional meaning of Tianji, it is the gear within a clock or machine. And Tianji is always about moving. And if you observe, right, her somersault, her stance are all about twisting, turning around, making somersault. I don't know, they have special name for her movements. Right, something like, I don't know. I'm not too familiar with gymnastics, but you guys know some of her somersault or stance, right? She has a special kind of uh, mm, like named after her. Some movements are named after her, actually. So Aries, thank you very much for watching, and Maria likewise. So really, we can see, right, even in her 紫微斗数 birth chart, we can tell a lot, right, about her. Why is it that she can become such a successful talent in terms of of become a very successful gymnast? So another thing we have to take look of is that we can see, right, 画科 is right at her, it's right facing her body domain. This 画科 here means being an athlete, she will become extremely famous. Okay, and both Wen Chang and Wen Qi, right, I mentioned before, people who have Wen Chang at their whatever domain, right, means you have a kind of karmic um karmic debt, right? So-called karmic debt, but for her, maybe it is a kind of like an inherent kind of characteristics from her past life karma that caused her body to be extremely flexible and having very high kinesthetic power, right, to move about, right, doing all kinds of superhuman kind of performance, right, like stunts and somersault, etc., etc. So this is really written in her birth chart. And if we observe her siblings domain, which can also represent the mother, is having a human being paired with a negativity enhancer star right there. Okay. And as I've mentioned, the parents domain always represents the mother, and because the siblings domain is two domains to the left, which represents the spouse domain to the father's domain. So this domain, which represents the mother, is also having a negativity enhances the task. We can observe that her relationship with her biological mother is not so positive. Okay, and if we are to look at her current decade trend. Her current decade trend, the destiny domain or the life domain, or some people like to call it the destiny palace, the Ming Gong, is having Ziwei, which is one of the best star in Ziwei Shu. It is the Lofton Sky Emperor star, right? One of the actually is the best star in Ziwei Shu. So and it is being paired with Hua Ke. Hua Ke is a fame or reputation catalyst star, and also is being paired with Qi Sha. Thus, we can observe she is having very extraordinary performance, right, in terms of her sports career. All right. And this is really due to the positive influence that is found within her current birth chart. And we can also see that Wu Qu and Tan Nan, in a way, right, they will help to increase her wealth due to the fact that Wu Qu in itself is a wealth star, and Tanan is a star that's related to being liked, being likable. I would say, right, she is one of the most beloved athletes of all time. And a lot of people like to see her, like to see her performance. A lot of people find her to be very admirable. They look up to her as a form of role model in life. You know, her attitude of always working hard, never giving up, and always trying her best in all her competition. So indeed, I would say, right, she has a very that she has a chart that is prompt to very high level of success, right? So not all of us will have this kind of charts, and we can also see that we cannot deny that she worked very hard because the body domain now, although is having Tian Tong Tai Yin being paired with Hua Quan Hua Lu, but that is also a Hua Ji star. So one of the aspects that she struggled with, right, that is reported by the media is that she struggled with mental health issue. If we are to look at the star tying, it is always related to mental health or emotional health, all right? Because it is a star that is representing the moon, all right? The tying basically in 紫微斗数, it is representing the moon. 太阴，我们的月亮了哈，月球的 our moon or 月亮. I will write both in English and in Chinese. And the moon is always related to emotion, sensitivity, and also I will say sometimes even spiritual aspect or intuition. Intuition. I have a client who has Tai Yin found in her the previous life domain, right? And or in her sorry, is in her destiny domain, but she can always feel or have deja vu or have dreams about her past life. All right. So people who have tying are naturally very they are very sensitive to our subconscious energy. Okay, like even our past life. Okay, so if you have found tying when it's being paired with Hua Ji, is also always related to emotional turmoil or emotional struggles. So if you look back at her chart, right, indeed, right, she mentioned, right, reported that she has to visit the psychiatrist or counselor, you know, the coach, often, right, to make sure that she has balance in terms of her physical and psychological well-being. And we can see definitely there's a 画技 within her bodily domain, and that could indicate issues with mental health. But overall, I will still perceive it as a very positive chart. And if we look at 兄弟宫, all right, or the siblings domain, it is the property domain of the wealth domain, and also the wealth domain or the property domain, which in a way it shows your cash flow. Cash flow in the sense like for her case, I'm sure she is earning a lot of money through sponsorship, or various sports brand, or being a spokesperson for various advertisement. I'm sure she earns a lot of money, right? Even at this stage, right? Because due to the siblings domain, having a lot of positive stuff like 化禄、化权 being paired with 天机and 天梁. So it is overall a very positive chart. And moving onward, right? Or perhaps you can observe her this year development, right? 2024, indeed she won a lot of medals. And indeed we can see, right, within her, in terms of her 小线, all right, in terms of her 小线, we can see, right, that she have this 天机天梁, right, in a way, being paired with 文曲 and 天才 means this year 2024 she'll be able to express her talents, and her talents will cause her to be extremely famous, and extremely well-to-do this year. Right, as mentioned, 兄弟宫, the siblings domain, also represents her income and cash flow, is facing 化权 and 化禄. Okay, so overall, very positive development. Even for the future, let's say from 2030 onwards, I will say her career will still do very well. She'll still continue to be very famous, but towards that phase of her life, which is about her 33 years old onwards, she will become more of a coach, right? Which in terms of Bazi reading is from her 2034 or 38, about 38 onwards, entering into Dingwei. In terms of this kind of development, usually, right, she will be teaching in terms of still going for competition, right? That's how I see it. So that's my take on Simone Biles chat. Currently, her next 10 years, which start from 2024 all the way to actually all the way to 2044, I would say these 20 years would be the best years of her life. So really a very beautiful chart. This chart is somewhat similar, but not so same, all right? Similar, but not exactly the same. Like the chart of Singapore, also having Yi Wood, having Bing and Bing Fire and Ding Water as a form of auspicious element to boost her growth, right, for a Yi Wood Day Master. So thank you all for watching today. Hopefully you guys have been doing well. Sorry that recently, due to very busy workload and sometimes clients stay on, for consultation all the way past 10 p.m. So I was not able to come on to live, but very nice to catch up with all of you again. Thank you very much, Yvonne, Aries, and Maria. Thank you very much for being here tonight. And to the rest of the viewers, hopefully you have enjoyed today's sharing. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment. And although today's sharing just half an hour, I have to go to sleep soon because tomorrow I have a feng shui audit, which is early in the morning. So I still have to prepare for it. So thank you all for being here tonight. And if you have any comments, please feel free to leave it in the comment section. Press the like and share button and the notification button so that when I come onto live, you will be notified. Thank you all for watching, and I wish you a beautiful evening ahead. Bye bye.